up, there's fire trucks on Collins Street. A car drives through a puddle, and a darting lesson in hubris as I follow sport, play by play. Alright, time.
There's actually a couple, to be fair.
Yeah, there are a few people in the Grand Slam that we are about to preview, Josh, that might be counting their lucky stars. I might just move the chair next to me, but
Yes,
other than that,
it looks shit
I'll
on
st-
the reels.
yeah, I'll start recording.
Right.
We want you've done very well with the camera today. That looks excellent, exactly how I like it.
Thank you, sir.
And let's and there's heaps of room here between one and the other. That's excellent. Let's move
Boy,
you.
amazing.
Well, every now and then. A broken clock's right twice a day.
You must be in a good mood today.
I'm feeling a little bit better.
Amazing.
Most assignments are through. It's Cup week. It's just a good week. At the start of November, we've had
It
the
is.
Melbourne Cup. History, Jamie Mellon. Could Bo Greaves or Lisa Ashton do something?
Lisa Ashton, actually.
Jamie Mellon, right. I just also want to point out that we haven't basically updated our rundown forever. I've changed the date, but that's about it. I put down 1 o'clock just thinking I will be on about there, and it's 1:01. By the time the season 1 finale, which this vlog is out, I probably will have forgotten much of this, but I do need to remind myself of just how long this thing took to put together. For whatever reason, QuickTime, I think it's because of the space left on the computer, was just so slow. Like, you want to make a little edit there? No, you've got to wait 2 minutes and come back. So I was literally walking up and down. I was going along here to the other side of the pod room, up, around, whoop, back to go, freaking out, hoping, praying that nothing bad would go wrong. But it's all still there. So, thank goodness that this podcast will be going out at 5 o'clock, as I have scheduled it to do. Just go to the visibility tab here. It's 5 o'clock, and we will schedule that right now. So that's done. So that podcast will be coming out, but oh boy, it got a bit nervous in there. Oh, that won't be the last time that happens. Welcome to Play by Play, Season 1, Episode 8, the 2025 finale. We begin by crossing to past Lorenzo at the Melbourne Sports Centre, Parkville, as I'm covering Hockey 1 for extra time. Welcome to... That was a flight. Welcome to Inside Industry. I have arrived at Melbourne Sports Centre. I've come to literally the quietest part, which is behind the goals at the city end. I actually just walked through the general admission area and showed my media pass, and that got me in pretty sweet. Not much to report on for the moment. I'm going to walk around a bit more, see if I can do a bit more just sort of general chit-chat filming like this, and see if there are some specific areas I can go to. I know I can go into the grandstand. I don't want to sort of be in the sort of general fan zone a bit more, just to get a bit of that atmosphere. I mentioned right at the top of my first article that Hockey 1 has a really big bash feel, so I want to talk about that sort of thing. But at the moment there's not much to talk about because there isn't any actual hockey on for another just under half an hour, even though there does appear to be some sort of, I think it's a junior girls match of some description on the second pitch. I might actually go and watch that and eat dinner while I can. But yes, I'll be here for on this Friday night for round 5 of the Hockey 1, covering it for extratimemedia.com, as well as round 6 next Saturday, and probably for the finals when they come Saturday and Sunday, which is the last couple of days of November. So that's what you have to look forward to majorly as part of this vlog. Excuse me. It's very windy. Time has just run out in that quarter, but I don't know if that's the end of the match or not. I've got no idea what's going on here. I don't know what's going on here sums me up nicely. That was the end of the game, by the way. I went to 3 match days since my last vlog. The first was HC Melbourne taking on the Brisbane Blaze. I didn't end up writing anything for extratimemedia.com for those matches, so here I will discuss how I went about writing the ones I did. I would take a notepad, pencil and eraser to handwrite anything I thought was noteworthy. Every goal, cards and important penalty corners were noted down, as well as anything else that I wanted to. I double-checked all my work at hockeyaustralia.altitrust.com and made sure to walk around the Parkville venue to get a feel for the event and the atmosphere from all angles. Well, when it wasn't raining, forcing me to be under an umbrella or in the grandstand. Game just got underway. And it's so packed in the grandstand that I've decided I'm going to come and watch from down there. And there's already been a goal inside the first minute as the ball kids, or some of the junior members, wanted to get in and take a seat in the grandstand. Busy start here at Parkville. Come on, H Melbourne, you need a goal. Cooper. Oh, well, we've got a repeat. Can we get anything out of this? Maybe. That was another. Only corner, take 3. I really need one to get back in this game already. Already 3 scores down, in effect. Oh, can't get anything going for the penalty corner at the moment, Melbourne. When you go to the Hockey 1, which I do recommend, it is pretty good, you will probably sense similarities to the Big Bash League. In my review of the first match, I wrote, Hockey 1 has proved to be, since its introduction in 2019, to be a marked improvement from the old State League. It takes its cues from one source, T20 cricket, especially Australia's own Big Bash League. Teams in major cities, colourful logos in uniforms, a men's and women's league on equal footing and unique rules. The men's match was decided early. Brisbane Blazers' 5 goals in the first 13 minutes ensured HC Melbourne's fate, who couldn't really get anything going from the penalty corner. The team, who scored 13 goals, see my last vlog, scored none and lost 6-0. The HC women gave the home fans something to be more joyful about, winning 3-1, Sam Love and Hannah Cotter scoring the goals for Melbourne, and despite a 49th minute penalty corner goal for Brisbane, the Black and Gold were able to hold on. And that'll do it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The next match I went to was HC Melbourne versus Canberra Chill. Bye. No one was ready. Try again. This was too complicated for me. They have an 8-second timer. Here we go. Didn't go in. The women's game was a blinder after a slow first quarter, but it was the last quarter that was insane. HC Melbourne win, but botch a penalty corner, and then Canberra go down the other end and win a penalty corner. With the game level and down a player, Georgina West scored from that penalty corner to put the Chill in front. HC Melbourne wouldn't go away, and Rebecca Greiner levelled the game with a little more than a minute to go, after the Chill goalie was not decisive enough with her kicking clearance. In a crazy last minute, Hannah Cotter's shot hits the post, and as time expires on the fourth quarter, the scoreline reads 2-2. HC Melbourne won the ensuing shootout 3-1, a brilliant shootout it was after letting one go in from Melbourne's goalie, Bridget Lawrence. The men's game was a brilliant display, and one of the most skillful games of hockey I've ever seen. HC Melbourne went down early as Hayden Dillon goaled in the 3rd minute after failing to convert early penalty corner chances. Daniel Smits scored from the penalty corner to level the game. Nathan Efferens puts HC Melbourne in front in the 18th minute. Those in black and gold really began to dominate the game from that point on, and getting chances, including Cooper Burns missing a great chance after a brilliant build-up in the 26th minute. Melbourne led the penalty corner stat 9-1 at half-time. The second half was all about HC Melbourne. Efferens goaled in the 31st minute. In the 35th minute, Craig Murray goals and converts, and Smith from a penalty corner pretty quickly broke the game wide open. By the 37th minute, Oliver Will scored his first goal for HC Melbourne, with his teammates getting around him, and the lead was 7-1. There was one last goal and conversion from Efferens in the 51st minute. He was unable to make it double digits for his side, as what first appeared a last-second goal was disallowed. So Efferens had to settle for 4, the poor guy. HC Melbourne were victors by 9 goals to 1.
Oh my word!
It didn't count! It didn't count! Poor Efferens, they only scored like 5. 4 or 5. I want HC Melbourne. So off the back of all of that, Grand Final day was on the 31st of November, and both Melbourne teams would be there, and so would I. Hockey has a weird obsession with positional playoff games, so the day started with some bronze medal matches for the men's and women's. I have no interest in these results, so I rocked up towards the back end of the second match. After New South Wales Pride beat the Brisbane Blaze 10-4 in the men's bronze medal match, they did the bronze medal ceremony, and Hockey Victoria commentator and co-worker Michael Van Dorsa had to struggle as it came down with rain for really the only time all day.
Michael's doing very well in tough conditions, powering down during the bronze medal sections.
The women's grand final started slowly. Maddie Ratcliffe goaled from short range and converted in the 20th minute to put Perth in the lead. After a green card in the 29th minute, Melbourne had a series of 3 penalty corners, but were unable to convert at the end of the half. The first 3 quarters were a tough defensive struggle. HC Melbourne were doing all they could to find the breakthrough. Then after winning a penalty corner with 5 minutes 45 to go, Ash Utri scores and converts to level the gold medal match.
To level the ball game. Just score. Just score. Score the level.
Melbourne had been pressing all match, but just when the Melbourne crowd thought that their team had wrestled it all back, disaster struck. A lucky bouncing ball pushed into the circle was put home and Perth led again. The crowd had been building to the roar of Uchi's goal, and then right thereafter, bang, Perth back in front. That would be enough as Perth went back to back, so the women's reigning champions had won it for the second straight year. Could that happen in the men's competition as well? Well, here comes HC Melbourne. The first goal of the men's grand final between Tassie and Melbourne went to the Tigers from a penalty corner through Samuel McCullough. They probably were not the best team in the first quarter, but they led 1-0 at the end of it. Early in the second quarter, Kai Willett received a ball and took a reverse shot from the left corner, scoring in amazing style. Seriously, one of the best goals I've ever seen live. He, of course, converted to put Melbourne in front. I mean, if he didn't convert, he wouldn't have done it justice. Despite a 42nd minute, 5-minute yellow being awarded to Nye Roberts, HC Melbourne extended their lead through Nathan Ephraim, who just had a fantastic year. It was once again a turnover that cost the Tigers as Ephraim dribbled from the left wing to the right wing before hitting the ball in the bottom left corner. Again, a very skillful goal. The Melbourne men, like the Perth women, would defend the title, as they followed my assumption all season that they really were the best team. The game did end, though, in a really odd way.
There's 1 second left.
If you want my full Hockey 1 reviews, check them out at the links below. I will end with how I ended my grand final article. It was a season with quite a few standout players and performances. Highlight of HC Melbourne's 13-1 win over Adelaide has quickly become the most watched video on Hockey 1's YouTube channel, and rightfully so. The season ended with a bit of a whimper. No, what am I doing? The season ended on a bit of a whimper. Hockey 1 has had the same format since its first season in 2019. Perhaps it is time for something different. Expansion was hinted at a while ago, but nothing has come since. Are the conversions really that much of a draw card? Could we get games from 7 Plus and onto one of 7's free-to-air networks? The right thing to do is try something. Hockey 1 is no doubt an improvement on the old State League, but it can still be even better. This has been Inside Industry. A video I wanted to make right through the Spring Carnival, the moment Phar Lap became a great champion. A horse that was doing well, but not winning. Suddenly, one race turned that horse's career around, and indeed the history of the country of Australia on its head. I'm pretty happy with it, even though it didn't get a lot of attention, so if you're interested, check it out at the link below. Furthermore, it was a video where I decided to do something a little bit different. Well, here we are, my next video. The moment that began Phar Lap's story, how one win made Australasia's most iconic racehorse scheduled because I was done with the whole with everything I wanted done. So like, yeah, we might as well schedule it now instead of waiting another 21 minutes. And that's something I think I'm going to do for videos in the future. Maybe finish them late the night before I'm going to actually post them at my preferred publishing time of 8 o'clock. And eventually try and get them done, you know, a day earlier, a couple of days earlier. Because I know I'm looking at a few videos that I want to do at the back end of next year, where I know I'm going to, in all likelihood, need to get them done, you know, a week or more ahead of when I want to publish them. So that's something I'm going to do. Interesting video, this one. Funny story, I was going to use as a great source for this the Animal Bazaar, which is a podcast with Mick Malloy and Thomas O'Reilly, which is a really great sports podcast. And all the videos they did on Phar Lap have been wiped. They're not available on any podcast platforms except Podchaser. And that says there's no episode file, so I'm not sure what happened there. But nevertheless, I still got the video done. It's about the Rosehill Guineas of 1929 in part. And I think, agreeing with something Bruce McVaney said about 4 years ago, that we need to rename that race the Phar Lap Guineas to give Phar Lap a Group 1 named in his honour. So that's going to go up. The 2025 Women's Cricket World Cup was a really good event and a great advertisement for women's cricket. It was talked about a lot when it was ongoing on Vision Sports. I will discuss more about the show at Vision Australia Radio in a bit. Australia were quite strong throughout until they met India. The Indians had to chase down Australia's 338 in the semi-final, which was a strong score, but also a little bit less than what they really could have made. But they did chase it down, and I made sure to quote that great piece of commentary from Ian Bishop in my piece. It must surely be the greatest run chase in the history of women's one-day internationals. I don't have as good of a voice as Ian Bishop, I'm sorry. India went on to win the tournament in an inverse to what the men's team was able to do at the 2023 World Cup. If you want to know what I mean by that and how I linked India at the 2023 Men's World Cup and the Indian women's team at the 2025 Women's World Cup, my piece that was published on December the 6th is able to be read at the link below. My internship at JamTV/Sportsbet is all over now, but it was such a great time and so much fun to watch, and ever occasionally help the gang make their Monday show. For example, on the show after the C4 Stakes, the graphic down the side during the first segment to blink us off said the race was 1,200 metres. I saw that for the first time and I thought to myself, hang on, I don't think that's right. They ran the overlay replay of the race, where the graphic there got the distance correct. Once they went back to the graphic, I turned around to the producer and said, that graphic is wrong, the CF4 is 1,400 metres. You'll be glad to hear they got it right by the time the show went to air, and I imagine I'm the only person with any proof that it was ever wrong in the first place. This is not restricted to Jam TV shows, in fact they're probably slightly better, but Racing.com are terrible with their graphics sometimes. Wrong graphics aren't exactly a semi-regular occurrence. So Racing.com, if you're hiring a new graphics person, I can help, and I'm fully motivated to fixing your issues. Furthermore, I helped research this graphic on the Winterbottom Stakes about whether the winners of the race in the last 10 years ever won another Group 1. Only 2 of the 9 horses who've won the Winterbottom in the last 10 years have won another Group 1. My entire time there was actually a lot of fun, and I learned a lot about planning a show, the rundown and the pre-show run-through, how the media goes about fixing issues during recording and more. Given we were in the city, we could hear a lot of noises, a lot of sound, so many emergency vehicle sirens. The recording had to be paused or even delayed for a minute, just to let the noise pass. You'd hear a lot of noises from the neighbouring buildings as well. That is the other building, right? What on earth is happening? Just had a fire alarm. There's a couple of fire trucks outside the building here on Collins Street. There's a fire truck on Flinders Lane. Cars are just coming through as per normal stop. I don't know what's happening. So I have no idea what that was all about. I might add it in video later if I ever work it out. But I think it's back to normal now. And we're about to do a get on Blackbook on this 24th of November. I was wanting to check, Twitter to see if there was any updates. Unfortunately, Play Championship Finals on the moment. I haven't seen the results, so if I open up Twitter I'll spoil the results of the darts tournament for me, and I can't have that.
Yeah, so I still have no idea what that whole thing was about. We couldn't use the lift, so we had to walk down the stairs. Still can't believe, given how high that floor is, I never thought of actually filming it, even for just about 5 seconds. It was very tiring, so I counted down the floors we were passing, but in Italian. Anyway, that was the weirdest thing that happened to me this year. Thanks again to everyone again on Blackbook. That was a lot of fun. Every Saturday through November and December, for a live show, I was producing, or the assistant producer, for Vision Australia Radio's Vision Sport. This is a volunteer role I could never have gotten if the Nudwalling Lions never gave me the chance to make that doco. More news on that in a moment. So thanks, Adrian, for linking me up with Matt Lee.
Well, it's the 29th of November. I'm in the studios here at Vision Australia Radio Q. I'm doing the Vision Sport show. It's the first time I've done this show without anybody in the room. So I've been doing them practically by myself, but someone's been over my shoulder to watch or help or correct a mistake. But just me today for the first time. Got the pass, and we're looking all right. 10:51. We've been on air for about 18 minutes. Mic live on air. People talking, you can hear it through the speakers, so I'd imagine we'd be on the air. The only little problem I've got here is this system is only giving me, for the packages that I play on the show, it's only giving me like the end of the dates. It's telling me it's the 29th, I know it's the 29th, so I've had to write on my rundown how long they are to distinguish between the Weekend Sport package and the others, which is a little bit annoying, but we're okay. I hope. Still got another 38 minutes for me to screw it up, so fingers crossed we get through the rest of the show all good.
I feel like I have a good handle on doing the show now. Most weeks it is live, and on a few occasions it is pre-recorded. We pre-recorded the year review and next year preview shows, so I had a good opportunity to do that, editing Adobe Audition, etc.
So the pre-recorded stuff, programs, Vision Sports, it's all the way down the bottom here. Thank you, letter V being so far down. In progress. And there's a bunch of preview shows. The ones we recorded today are part 1 and part 2 here. There's the WAV file and the Adobe Audition. We also put together a notepad text document so that I remember the parts I want to edit. I did write down on a whiteboard, but I'll leave it on the notepad, and I'll get back to that next week, I think. We only had half an hour between the end of the pre-recorded preview show and the live show here today on the 13th of December.
A big shout out to those who host the show, as well as the guests we're able to get from all around the country who are so generous with their time when we call them. Like the 9 Dial podcast, as a matter of fact, Vision Sports is also available wherever you get your podcasts and airs live from 10:30 to 11:30 Melbourne time on Vision Australia Radio, which you can find at radio.visionaustralia.org or at the frequency in your region, which for Melbourne is 11:79 AM.
Huge shout out to Peter Greco, who we called in the first half hour. It's great to listen to, and he certainly fills up his time very, very well. And now into the second half hour, some AFLW now, AFL tennis, basketball and rugby, all-round sort of sports show. Talk some cricket, some A-League, and plenty of South Australian stuff. Peter Greco's from Adelaide, so hence that.
Right, let's head back to Holmes Glen Chadston now, because I've gotten this far into the vlog, and I haven't really talked about the 9 Dial podcast. Well, it was an interesting couple of months. We moved away a bit from the podcast studio after our uni classes had ended, really at the behest of Josh. I don't think he likes to travel that far, which is fair enough, I guess. We used WebEx for 3 episodes during and after the Grand Slam of Darts, as well as after the Players' Championship finals. It was my job at the end of the WebEx meeting to get the recording, to download it, and edit the podcast. I passed it on to Ethan Wright to get up on to the Extra Time YouTube channel. Thanks, Ethan, if you're watching, for doing that. Alrighty, this is what we've all been waiting for. It's the 42nd episode. It's the last one of our, I don't know if you want to count it as the first season, or it's not like it's season 2, episode 1 next time, but if you want, a year of Darts podcasting has come to an end. Josh, he's in the Josh Rock shirt, looking
that fits you quite nicely.
Oh, Rocky.
If you don't mind, we're set up here good to go. Thank you, Peter, for letting us in. He was the one that was here of the lecturers. Yeah, 42nd episode. I've gone for the green. I don't know if you noticed, for Paddy Power, because it's the World Darts Championship. Josh is looking ready to go. Here we go, the biggest episode of the year, the one I'm most looking forward to. WDF as well. How good was Mitchell Laurie, by the way? He,
Oh my god.
once for the second year at Lakeside, the guy who won the tournament was in the men's/open, was outdone by the guy who finished second.
Incredible.
But Vansky, a deserving world champion, he's been the best in the WDF system. I should have mentioned that in the promo. Anyway, here we go. So we'll get underway now. Just speaking to your mic one more time, Josh.
Sorry, yes, yeah.
Yes, excellent. It's
Live,
picking up.
ready to rock and roll.
All right, fingers crossed this all goes well. Here we go then, the 42nd episode of the 9 Dart Podcast. We've done the last few online because Josh didn't want to come in, but he's in, and let's get going.
It's gonna take me 2 hours to get here.
But we were back in the studio for episode 42, which was our biggest episode ever, perhaps, as it was the preview of the PDC World Darts Championship. But there were other important matters, such as the 2025 WDF World Championship at Lakeside, where the star of the week was Mitch Laurie. But perhaps even more important than anything else discussed on the show was my good mate Josh getting an amazing lesson in hubris, which led me to create my favourite piece of content that I've made all year.
I'm unfortunately out of the race for promotion, so I'm staying in that sort of middle bracket there.
But you had such a great start.
I know. Yeah, I think I was like 5-1-1 or 5-1-2.
And then you made yourself favourite.
I sold the bag.
Yeah, you know what happened? You made yourself favourite for that match with the stupid sports bet mock
piss
thing.
take.
Yeah, exactly.
1 versus 2 clash, apparently.
Oh, wow.
We don't have a table for you, but JP, I'm pretty sure he's confirmed it. So, Liam this week. And we have the official betting odds. If you want.
Have you created this, or was this someone else on Facebook?
I created this. The
So
official
you've made
betting
yourself
odds.
a $1.80 favourite. What you've done is you've overlaid this over some random Modus match, I think it is, of the Super Series.
I have. I just took the piss. Thought it'd be funny. But, yeah, I think I'd be slight favourite in that one. But there you go.
And then you didn't win a game since.
Bit of a rally check, huh?
Never
Really
go
check
the early
there.
crow, as they say so often in Australian racing.
Never go the early crow indeed. It took an age to edit the whole podcast because I wanted to add a promo clip at the end of the podcast, but it just took forever. Thanks Ethan again for bringing that all together. I'm recording this before the end of the 3rd round, but at the time, the world champions we selected in that podcast, Luke Littler for me and Josh Rock for Josh, who I had losing in the world final, are both still in the tournament, so that is great. Jan van Veen might, though, be the most likely of someone who isn't named Luke at the moment, but we'll see. That probably ages poorly by the time this is out. But anyway, now, the most exciting announcement in this entire vlog. So here I am on the... excuse me. Here I am on this Wednesday night. The voice is still a little bit croaky after talking about darts for an hour. I've just done the RSS feeds for the darts podcast. I think when I did the video on the case for improvements to darts, I said I wouldn't be looking to the time. I don't understand. This happens with me a lot. I don't understand why sometimes it takes me so long to do things. Like, honestly, it doesn't make any sense half the time. Like, why didn't I do that earlier? Why did I do that then? Like, anyway, it's a weird thing. But if you have thought about listening to my darts podcast, but didn't want to always go to YouTube and thought it was much easier on, like, Spotify, it should work. I'll double check tomorrow morning, but I'm pretty confident that I've just done that. The Podchaser, which is the platform I use to listen to podcasts. The first 20 are there, so I'll double check tomorrow. But I think I've done the RSS feeds, and the audio-only versions of the 9 Dart Podcast will be available a day after they're released on YouTube. So YouTube first, that's my plan. YouTube first, and then audio-only the day after. Fingers crossed I've done it. And why didn't I do it so long? RSS feed, so easy, so easy. Anyway. That's right, you asked, and asked, and asked, and asked, and asked, and now the 9 Dart Podcast is available wherever you get your podcasts in audio-only form. Why did it take me this long? I'll never know, other than the clear answer of, I am an idiot. At any rate, they are all there, and will be made available in the future, the day after the YouTube upload. So, if you want it as quickly as possible, go to Extra Time YouTube, subscribe there. But if you want an audio-only edition, or want to re-listen, or anything like that, or you just want to keep all your podcasts in the one place, you'll be able to find them wherever you get your podcasts, and they'll be available in audio-only form the day after the YouTube upload.
There are lots of videos I have wanted to make since before I started this channel, and the one I posted on December the 14th is 100% one of those examples. The Thai test match is the rarest of sporting duels. I hope I live long enough to see the third one, and not only be alive for it, but I want to live that journey too. This was a great series, Australia and the West Indies, 1960-1961. It was fun to find the footage of this tied match, because there was plenty of it filmed by the ABC. It's a video I'm happy with, so check it out if you haven't already. I do want to add one thing here. The first half hour of the final day of the test match was the West Indies' second innings. So it was only half an hour into that first morning when Australia's last innings started, and by proxy, the last innings of the match. There was no, we're playing extra half an hour in the last session back then. There was only 5.5 hours left of play. The West Indies, in that 5.5 hours, bowled the equivalent of 91.56 ball overs. That is more than we ask, way more actually, than we ask of players today in 6.5 hours. Where has that efficiency gone from Test cricket and a lot of sport, really? Well, TV breaks, intro music, Velcro gloves, meaning players are fidgeting more, it's all added up.
Here we go, one and all. We are just about at the end, but before we do that, let's sit down one last time in the Contemplation corner, one last time for 2025. What a year it's been. It's been a chaotic year for me. I got sick towards the back end of August, which threw off a lot of things. It's been, I've done some things I'd like to do, some things that, I'm reasonably happy with and less reasonably happy with. I got to interview someone who I think is going to play for Australia and write some great articles there. I've had to battle through, doing an AFL podcast sort of on and off and then sort of getting rid of it, but the darts podcast has really grown. Something I've done a bit towards the back end of this year is shorts, and I posted a couple of shorts on not using playoffs in motorsport, on my reaction to AFL rule changes and the fixture, as well as a recent one on some footage I've been seeing from Youth American Football training sessions of helmet-to-helmet impacts, which were just awful. So check those out if you haven't. They're all on my channel, on my Instagram as well. I post them all there, so follow me there as well. I thought I'd mention that out, given I didn't really get to it in the vlog. Proper, that is. As for the Australian Cricket Society, next article of mine should come up right after this vlog is published, towards the back end of this week, right into the early days of January, on the Ashes. So far, Australia have retained the Ashes, won the first 3 tests. The Melbourne saw England win the 4th test. So that'll be coming up very shortly, but just outside this vlog. I'll have probably another piece or 2 coming there. I've really enjoyed writing for the Australian Cricket Society, and I'll be finishing up that journalism scholarship right at the end of January. The Nuttall Lines doc, I promised this. Now, first of all, congratulations to everyone at Nuttall for getting the seniors team up and going for 2026, and with the 100th year anniversary in 2027, that's going to be a special occasion. The fixture has also come out from the EFNL, so I'm tentatively wanting to finish, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the documentary, but make it public, I guess, during what will, for the Nuttall seniors team, be their round 2 bye in mid-April. So seeing them succeed, the under-19 team succeeded in keeping Nuttall afloat and going to a seniors team in 2026. And therefore, we'll be seeing that success with the Nuttall team playing in round 1, and then the documentary will end there. So looking round 2, 2026 for the EFNL season, somewhere in mid-April. That's only sensitive at the moment, nothing more specific than that. To end this video, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. A lot of people like to do sort of year in review sort of thing. So the way I'm going to do it, and this is going to be, I think, a bit of a tradition on this vlog in the years going forward, is I'm going to take one song that, spoke to me during the year, and I'm going to overlay footage of some of the highlights of the things I've done this year. The song I've chosen is a favourite of a hero of mine who actually mentioned in an earlier, the Case 4 video I did back in October on the fact that horse racing is not inhumane and cool, and that's the comedian Stephen Colbert, whose Late Show was cancelled during the year. And right after that, the Late Show with Stephen Colbert's Instagram page posted him singing along to the Mountain Goats song This Year. The Mountain Goats are an independent band in the US that Colbert's a big fan of. So that song is a great one, and I've started listening a little bit to their music. So to end off this vlog, I'm finishing off to This Year by the Mountain Goats, because it's really summed up my year. I'm going to make it through this year if it kills me. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to absolutely
everybody who has helped me throughout this year. It's been a lot of fun, whether that was the team again on Blackbook, the team at Extra Time, the team at Hockey Victoria, the team at Vision Australia Radio, Not Awarding Lines. There's probably a bunch of other places, Australian Cricket Society. There's probably other places which I've forgotten to mention. I'm going to just tag a little bit at the end that said, anyone else who helped me throughout this year, thank you so much, and I'll see you in 2027. Season 2 begins in March 2027. God bless you, everybody, and have a very happy New Year.
The motor screaming out, stuck in second gear, the scene ends